I be forgetting about the time change. I'm like, man, 6 o'clock is 7 o'clock at home. I gotta hurry up. All right. Live. Turn my badges on. All right. So we are live now. You ain't gonna show your face, Marcus, for real?
In a minute, I will.
You gotta get yourself
It's not my
together.
segment, so I ain't gonna bombard it with my beauty.
I guess. All right, y'all. Well, what up, though? Today is Friday. Happy Friday to you. Thank y'all for tuning in. We have Reggie P, Popular Realty Team, Marcus, and Ebony Strother here to discuss the amazing market of adult foster daycare. So, good evening. Do y'all any church announcements? I don't think so. Y'all got any announcements?
I don't have any at the moment.
Reg, you, Ebony,
Nope.
Nah, pay your rent.
and your taxes, because they
Yeah,
putting them
Oh
notices on
yeah, that's good. And your taxes. You're right.
yeah.
Tenant sent one today. I was like, disregard. They've been paid. I don't know why they doing that. They doing the most. That's in adult foster daycare. All right, so I guess everybody want to introduce themselves for all the new people who are here today who don't know, may not know who we are. Ebony, you can go first as you are special guest.
Hi, everybody. My name is Ebony Strother. I own a consulting business helping individuals get started, who actually want to learn how to get into the adult foster care business.
Okie doke. Reggie P, who you be?
Reginald Perryman, ReggiusRealEstate.com, Reggius Real Estate on Instagram, real estate broker here in Metro Detroit, broker and investor and a bunch of other stuff, real estate.
Marcus?
Marcus Twyman with Opulent Realty Team, real estate broker, property manager, notary, and all around Jamaican for the most part. No, but no, yeah, been in the business for a minute, have a great time, and might as well say real estate educator as well.
All right, and I'm Asia Denson, owner of Denson Construction Services and the Detroit Property Shop. I guess I'm an educator. I'm a contractor and investor in the D, and probably soon to be Jackson, Mississippi, since I went to school here. So today's topic is how to invest in Detroit or nationwide, starting your own adult foster daycare. I think that's the proper term, right, Ebony?
Mhm. Yeah, licensed adult foster care.
Correct, right, correct me. Licensed adult foster care, not just as a foster care. Think y'all gonna do what y'all want to do. So, Ebony, what is adult foster daycare for people who may not know?
So actually, I can. Well, I'll break it down. Kind of try to be a little simple. So when you have a licensed adult foster care home, you are responsible for these individuals. Typically, you may just hear people say a group home, but with the licensed adult foster care home, you are basically responsible. You'll have people come in and they'll stay in your residence, and you're basically providing total care for them. Now, there are instances where you can maybe have a room and board home where it's a little bit of the same, but without all of the extra work. So adult foster care, you may have individuals that may have mental health issues. They may be seniors that's declining. It's a very vast population that you can have for residents that are, sickly, that need a place to stay. Basically, we are the alternative to a nursing home. So if you don't want your family or your loved ones to go and live in nursing home, adult foster care is like the way to go. You're getting the same care, if not better care, and it's so much easier for the families.
Okay, so how will somebody get started? And what amount of money do they need? Like, do they need a lot? Is it a certain way they gotta update the house? Like, make it handicap accessible and stuff like that?
Yeah. So typically, if you were wanting to get started with adult foster care, you would definitely have to have a house. I always tell people make sure that the house is one level. I've had a couple of people purchase homes and it has upstairs, all the bedrooms are upstairs. And that is really not a good idea because if you have an aged population or sick population, you would want to have all the bedrooms on the first floor. And to get started, you would need probably between about $5,000. To typically, you have to have if you're gonna. Well, we'll talk about if you would want to purchase your home or lease a home. When I first got started, I leased a home, and it worked out. But say if you wanted to, increase your business or do something else, you may want to purchase homes because if you're leasing a home for years, it's basically you kind of like throwing money away. So I would encourage people to purchase them a home, but you have to make sure that your home, is in a very decent area. You just can't have like 4 or 5 houses blown up on the block and expect someone to want to entrust their loved one to come and stay with you. So you would need definitely about $5,000 to get started, because you have to pay staff and things like that as well.
So what's the average price like somebody would pay a staff person? Is it like minimum wage or is that considered like a special skill they need?
Um, well, you do need a little bit of training. Direct care workers typically you have your CPR training and things like that. You typically will start off at about $14 to $15 an hour. Oh, yeah, I
Okay.
get the background.
What's up,
I'm
Kayla?
so sorry.
You straight. You could be yourself, Ebony, on here. We be regular. Like sometimes they may take a drink or two, you know.
Yeah, this not like the regular stuff.
Yeah, you be yourself.
Yeah, because I'm at the shop.
That's
So
cool. That's cool. So for the people who may have questions, y'all know the rules. $5 minimum donation. One question, not a damn paragraph, not a book, not a thesis statement. So if you got any questions, go ahead and hit them. If you're here on YouTube, make sure you put in the comments where you checking in from and listening to, and whatever questions you have. So, Reg, do you have questions or Marcus?
Do I have to pay for the question?
No, because you're part of the team.
All right, I'll put it in collection plate.
There we
So,
go.
like with the so based on like the size of the house, what's the minimum size home you would recommend, and how many people can you have in one home based on like square footage?
well, it really depends on how many bedrooms you have,
Okay,
because sometimes legally you don't want to have a 2 bedroom house and try to put 6 people in the house, So I guess it really depends on how big the bedrooms are. Typically, you can get 2 to 3 per bedroom, but the rooms have to be a nice size. You just can't cram people in the small bedrooms and
right.
think that that's going to work because definitely the state has their laws when it comes to how many you can put into a room.
Okay, all right.
So,
What
oh, go ahead, Reg.
yeah, what services are you providing to people? Like, are you giving them like say for instance, if they have any type of medications or something, are you um,
Yes.
so you're keeping them on schedule with their meds and meal preps and things of that nature?
Yeah, so with adult, when it's a licensed adult foster care home, you have to administer their medications. It's basically like how you would be a foster parent, basically.
Right.
You would have to make sure that all their needs are met. You will provide 3 meals a day, snacks. You would definitely provide medication management. The meds have to be locked up. That's per the state that you have to have a lock on the medication. But yeah, you're providing basically everything that they need. Their food, their clothing, their shelter. Now that's with a licensed adult foster care home, but there are different avenues that you do. Say if you didn't want the population that are really sick or have declining health, there's another option that you can do, which is it's room and board, but really is independent living. And those that particular population, you don't have to really do as much for. They're typically high function, and they just really need a place to stay.
Okay.
So is it like a minimum or maximum you could put in a room? So like I've always heard people if they got 3 bedrooms, they do like two twin beds or bump beds or something per
Yeah,
room. Or is it like a
yeah.
max? Like can I do 2 sets of bump beds? Maximize my space.
You can, if the room is huge. If it's a really big room, you can get 3 to 4 in there, but it has to be because you have to remember that for each bed you have to have a dresser for that, or a closet space. So if you have 4 beds in there, you know you won't be able to get 4 dressers in there as well. So that's like a good rule of thumb. They have to either have their own closet space or their own dresser per bed.
Oh, I didn't know that. So yeah, I didn't know they had to have their own. So they got to be able to lock them too, right?
Yeah, no, you don't. They don't necessarily have to lock them. It just really depends on who you have in there.
Who
It just
who
really
getting their
depends.
haircut?
Do you hear that buzzing? I am so sorry.
You good?
You straight, Ebony. I promise
Oh
you
my
straight.
god, that's so ghetto. Oh my god.
Ron cutting hair.
Yes.
Tell them,
He started doing them hair units yet? Y'all seen
yep.
him do some hair units?
We working on it.
I call him man quick weave.
Yeah, my barber do those. You see, I ain't went yet.
I was about to say, Reg, why are you scratching your head like you got one up there?
'Cause I'm thinking, I'm like, man, I might have to convert over, but I don't want to do it. I like swimming.
I seen this one on Instagram. He transformed. He was a whole new dude. Okay, he had the 360s. I'm like, that's a man weave. Like them things that came a long way.
I apologize for that.
Ebony, I promise you straight.
Ebony, so how long does it take to receive the payment for, let's just start off with the licensed adult foster care home. So I know you said it may take about $5,000 to start, but usually, typically, how long? Because I know most people are like, okay, once I get started, I got these people in my house. The bills start rolling in usually before the money. How long does it usually take?
No, as soon as your resident moves into the home, you receive your payment the first day.
And is this through the state of Michigan or is it through like a private agency?
Typically, you would do private pay. We always did private pay for our homes because the state honestly doesn't pay as much as private pay. So with our home, we did seniors, so we were able to get their pensions. So the state doesn't remotely give you that pension money.
Wait a minute.
That was a real Cruella DeVille greedy face. Get
this state ain't really giving you no money like that. So we were getting pensions.
I did not know you can get folks pensions, man. That's crazy.
Absolutely.
So like, do you have to, like, when you apply for that, I guess, how does the pension part work though?
So typically, like for us, we had a lot of seniors. So their families, whoever was power of attorney or whoever had control of their payment, we got their checks the first of the month or the 15th. Whenever they got their money, their monthly pensions, the families take care of that. Because if they're in an adult foster care home, they're basically not really controlling their own money. But I did have one resident that she wrote her own check every month. She had Parkinson's disease, and she wrote that check every month.
Dang. So in a case like that, when somebody is like Parkinson's disease, do they like what does happen, like their mental capacity? Let's say get to the point where they don't remember to pay. Do you get like power of attorney, or does a family member have to?
I typically never wanted any of that because if there's an issue with money or if there's a problem, I didn't want to do that. So I would let their families take care of that. But they would definitely, because they didn't want the responsibility, so they would make sure, excuse me, that we got their payment.
All right. Somebody said, how much do you typically get per resident?
So it depends on the level of care that you're doing. So the lowest end would be about $2,000, highest about $5,000 a month. But if you're getting $5,000, $4,000, typically they're really, really sick. And you doing diapers, they dying. You know, there's hospice, you could really get the most. That
Right.
which is be about 4 or 5 thousand. But the, you know, 3,000, it really depends on their income. Whatever it is they're making, that's what you're gonna get.
So if I got a two family flat, that's 12 people. If I got two per room, I can get 2,000 per person per month.
Yeah, sometimes more than that. But you got to think, if you got a 2 family flat, that's upstairs. So the steps is not a good deal.
So
Typically,
in that case, with a 2 family flat, would you be able to combine a license and a non-license, since upstairs would be more people who are more dependent? I mean, independent. I'm sorry, and downstairs more.
I wouldn't keep them together. I'm gonna be
Okay.
honest with you. I would have them two separate housings.
Gotcha.
You know, so one young lady that I did consulting for, she had one licensed adult foster care home and 4 room and boards, and killed the game. She killing them right now. She killing them. She ended up having more homes and doing better than we did.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
So,
it's true.
Go ahead,
Here,
Rich.
yeah, here we got a lot of like side by side duplexes that are ranches, like one story. That might be ideal for something.
Yeah, I always encourage people 1 story, because if it's steps or anything, that's a liability. You don't want nobody falling down the steps.
Nah, and they can't get up. Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, so let me be the bad guy for a minute. So what
Sure.
happened? Have you ever had anybody run out of money or who couldn't pay?
No.
You haven't?
No, because typically, excuse me, if you got a senior and they're retired, their money doesn't run out. That's their retirement.
Right.
We've had a lot of professional. We've had registered nurses, teachers, foremen from Ford, department heads from the water department. I mean, all type of careers. So when they're retired, that retirement doesn't run out.
All right.
But that makes sense, because if you retiring and unfortunately if you don't have no family, it would be cheaper just to do that. Because now you just basically got a roommate and you ain't got to worry about no major bills. You just write one check a month.
Yeah, and you getting food, because you got to think we're preparing your meals. You're getting 3 meals a day, snacks. You literally don't have to do anything. We washing your clothes, changing your linen. You don't have to do anything.
Really
That's like
quickly,
living in a
so
hotel.
when you're a licensed adult foster care home, can you live in the same facility? Like, for instance, if you have a bungalow and you're doing downstairs?
Absolutely. I actually, to be honest with you, I encourage that, because that was the type of home that we had. We had a licensed family home. That is the better home to have, because honestly, the state can't, a lot of rules that they have in place, they don't really be on you, because it's your house. You
stay there with the residents, so they pretty much get 24-hour care.
So a lot of the rules they apply, but it's not as harsh when it's an adult family home versus a licensed adult foster care home. They're both are licensed homes in the state, or over them, but they don't really be on you like that, because it's your house. So there are a lot of things they don't just come bogarting in, because it's your house.
My only thing with that would probably be a safety concern, like just having people living there with me.
Yeah, I would encourage you.
I mean, you went to college, so that's just like roommates staying in with you. You didn't know them folks.
But you would have your own room.
My first roommate, I think that was about a week. My second roommate, we was in the band together, so we was on the same page. So
see, it's the same thing though. You might keep this one person for about a week, and then if it don't work out,
like you got to go.
You gotta go. Need to return. What's the return policy, Ebony?
So what I would do is all I would do was ask is for a 30-day notice. So I'll give an example. We had one particular lady that she suffered a stroke, and the nursing home called and said, well, we have a lady that she fell. She had a stroke and she can no longer stay by herself. Do you have a bed available? I was like, yeah, sure. So this lady worked really, really hard with her physical therapy and things like that, and she got better. and she moved out. She kept saying, like, I'm gonna go back and get my own place because she was very independent prior to the stroke. So, we just say you give us a 30-day notice. And she right now, this lady is staying over there on 8 Mile in Wyoming in a senior building. She got her own apartment.
So
Have you ever had to dismiss any participants at all? Like as far as
Absolutely,
okay.
absolutely. If they are too irate, some of them they kick against the system. They may feel like they can stay home by themselves and they really can't. We've had them fight, try to barricade themselves in the room. Yeah, and seniors is strong. They'll tell you about that.
Right?
Very, very strong.
Right?
Yeah, they're very strong. I'm serious. So yeah, if they're combative and we can't redirect them, it's only happened to us a couple of times to where we absolutely couldn't deal with them, and they pay well. But sometimes it's not worth it. If they're trying to fight you and stuff like that, you got to find somewhere else to stay.
Yeah, I hate knock somebody grandma on their back. I would hate to do that.
yeah,
Yeah,
I
I've
don't
had
want to.
cereal thrown in my face, like
Like
in
you
your
know, back up,
face.
granny.
Yeah, yeah.
So I guess so. You said the nursing home call you, so I guess that would be a good plug or referral to like time with
Oh
nursing.
yeah, rehabs are really good because a lot of times people like the situation that I explained. If they fall or if they can't return home, they have to have somewhere to go. And a lot of people don't want to live in a nursing home. I wouldn't even want my mom to have to live in a nursing home if we could control it. You would rather it to be a smaller setting like a group home. And it's really like a family setting because they're sitting down, they're eating together, they watch TV, they care for each other and stuff like that. We've had residents 5 and 6 years, at just the same two roommates for years. I mean, they just used to that.
So do they and I lost my question. So like is it a certain way that you have to renovate these homes? So like if you know somebody in a wheelchair, since it's one floor, I know I gotta make all openings ADA compliant.
Yes, yes.
I got
It
to do
has to be
stuff like
certain
that.
levels of egress and wheelchair ramps and things like that when it comes to having wheelchair bound residents. We would only have, if like in our house, we may only have one because it's just too much having a lot of wheelchairs in the house. It's just a lot, And then when they're in wheelchairs, you got to worry about bed sores. They're not walking. It's just a lot comes with them not being mobile.
Okay, that makes sense.
So I really kind of tried to stay away from wheelchair, but you can do it, and it's very lucrative if you guys are willing to do the work when it comes to the wheelchairs. It's a lot of lifting, stuff like that.
So somebody asked, would they be able to do this in upstate New York?
Sure, they can do it anywhere.
Yeah, so it's nationwide,
Absolutely.
maybe. But I wanted to,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
I would assume different states maybe, or are the laws kind of applicable across all
yeah.
states?
Yep, their laws are different. Each state is different. I'm only familiar with the Michigan because, of course, that's where we had our homes at. So, but you can do it anywhere.
Okay, that's good to
Have,
know.
have you had any issues with any like neighborhood associations or anything like that? Like I know some communities they're not big on you having like a nursing home or adult foster care home or something in the neighborhood.
Well, not really issues with the adult foster care, but sometimes they get a little nervous about the population.
Okay,
So if the adult foster care, you don't really hear too much of an issue about that because they know that it's typically sometimes mental issues or they're sick or declining hospice or something like that. But with the room and boards, you really want to be careful because typically with the room and boards, because they're so high function, you may have some that may have done some jail time, had some issues,
right,
just need a place to stay. So you would really want to be careful with that because you don't know if they're, some of them may have like sexual issues or, what I'm saying? When you're
right,
dealing with the room or board, they're more high functioning. So you don't really know what they're due. Because we had one, he was real slick. He would say, I'm going for a walk, or can I go get some coffee? He was putting liquor in his coffee, come back drunk. Yeah,
Hey, that's the best part of waking
yeah.
up.
So
I was about to say, what's wrong with leave it in your cup?
All right,
yeah,
I
yeah.
got a
We
question
was
for
like,
the
what's wrong with him?
Can you do so in that case? Can you do halfway houses?
You could do halfway houses, but you need to be careful because what their charges are.
That
That's what I was going to say. I looked into doing a halfway house, but that to me that was a lot more difficult because you pretty much have to be there almost 24 hours a day. You got to monitor them. You got to make sure that you check in with their parole officer as well as whatever type of charge, like Ebony was saying, whatever kind of charges they have. And if they have
Mhm.
like a sexual charge, you got to make sure that the house itself is not in a school zone. It's
Yes.
quite a bit.
And
Just
drug, you have to, and then you have to realize a lot of them are like was on drugs, and that's like something that you wouldn't even want to be bothered with. I mean, some people have a heart for that, but that wasn't nothing I was ever interested in.
sound like
I
stress.
could get, I get them old and sick, and I take good care of them.
Right, my auntie love that. And for them niggas every day. Like y'all want
Yeah,
some cobbler? Like auntie
yeah.
love cooking every day.
Mm,
So
yeah,
like
I looked
you got a
into it because I
regular.
have my
Right.
foster care license. I've had it for several years. I just ended up changing it into respite care for parents, but right now it's kind of inactive because of my schedule. But it's not a bad thing to do. Uh, I can't again. I didn't ever did adults. I had children, but
okay.
I mean, it
You
was
just have to be willing to put in the time. Because
that's
one
it.
thing,
Put in the
when
time.
we first started, we didn't initially think about the decline. So we had some that come to us, they're okay and they walking and talking, and then they get sick. So what we started out as an assisted living, which is like a upgrade of the room and board, but they started to get sick and we wanted to be able to keep them. So we had one resident to go to a day program, and on the way back, she had a stroke in the car. On the way from her day program, had a stroke and went blind.
Oh my god.
So yes, all in one day, just went completely blind, completely lost her sight.
I'd be
So
crying. I don't think I could do
yes, oh,
it.
she was crying. She couldn't understand. But when you're dealing with that type of population, like what we were dealing with, a lot of the seniors, they're sickly, and they can get, they can come to you one way, walking and talking. We specialized in dementia, so dementia is progressive, and they will, eventually. We ended up doing hospice for a lot of our residents. Got a stack of obituaries. We did hospice for years because they're like family. If you've had them for so long and they get sick and they're dying, their family don't want to put them in a nursing home. They want them to stay with you. So that's what we did.
That sound I would be crying. Like that's why I can't be no
Oh,
kid worker. The way some of these women be doing kid, I couldn't do it. Like I'd be crying.
Well, that was the hardest
it's
part
hard.
with children as well. Not the death part, but the
Mhm.
abuse and the stuff that they went through. Because I'll be honest with you, I mean, most people tune in or do these things because people see other people in that business making tons of money. Okay,
Yeah,
but when you really take the classes that the state offers, especially becoming licensed, and you are
yeah,
working with the agencies out here, you actually learn about the people. And if you're a people person, you see it's more than just money. Because
yeah.
again,
The
when I went
stories
to
is
first
out
took
cold.
my
Yes.
classes with the agency to become licensed as a foster care, I was going to open up a group home, a foster care home.
Hmm.
Because again, I mean, I was one of those people like, hey, I'm gonna try it. I can make some money off of it. It shouldn't be that hard. But once you meet and hear the stories from the foster care workers and then the children themselves about their lives, even when it came to the adult foster care, when I thought about that, it's like the backgrounds that some of these
Yes.
people were very high ranking professionals, but
Yes.
I mean, family is family, and it was like some of the stories that you heard from them were the same as it was heart wrenching, and you just like you couldn't think that no one or someone would treat an individual like that. So my thing is, if you're trying to get into it for the money, it's the wrong game to get into, the wrong one.
Absolutely. You have to have a heart. You have to have a heart. It's been, I can even tell you the countless nights that I've been in the emergency room late at night. The families wouldn't even show up. The families would tell me, call me and let me know what's happening. And it's your mama, they mama.
Mm-mm.
And I'll be there all night in the hospital, and they say, well, let us know what the doctors say. They won't move. So yeah, it's like once people feel comfortable and they say, "Oh, well, y'all taking good care of my mama," and then they stop the visits, stop. You have to deal with all of that. The residents would get depressed, especially around the holidays.
Yeah.
Their families wouldn't come visit and stuff like that. It is more than a notion. You can make a lot of money, but you definitely have to have a heart for the people. It's more than just, I'm gonna make all this money, because it is money to be made. It is money to be made, but it is a lot of hard work.
Yeah.
You doing blood, sweat, and tears for real.
One of my good friends, he was like I don't know if he was a supervisor, social worker, like up by Western Michigan. He had to quit because he ended up getting really, really sick and like getting high blood pressure from all the stress from hearing all them bad stories from like, especially the kids and stuff like that or women. He was like, he had to quit. He's like, man, I'm not about to kill myself for nobody paycheck. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
I'm still interested though, but I don't know if I want to be on that. I just have to hire somebody
Oh,
like
definitely. My
you
thing
deal with
is,
that.
I mean,
I'm
you
just going to
can.
the facility. Go ahead,
What?
Margie. What you say?
No, I was just saying you can. I mean, again, it's an equal balance,
Yeah.
as far as when it comes to caring and providing for yourself as well as them. Um, I mean, I did it for several years with the kids, and I think when I was comparing it, if you want to talk financial, the adults kind of pay more and you did a little bit less, but with the kids, they paid a little bit less and you did a lot more. Um, but
Yeah.
I mean, the stipend that they give you wasn't bad. It's just you have to know what to do with it. Majority of it though went on the children for me because I had a Target habit, and every time we load these kids up to the car, we went with the Target. They was like, "We about to get something." Absolutely, we looking at everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
I made sure that at least the sock, underwear, and drawer stayed full. They didn't have to, because a lot of them came with trash bags as luggage and things of that nature. So we would end up getting luggage and stuff that they can always take to them to the next home if they didn't stay in ours for the longest. So
Oh
I
wow.
seen that on Instagram. They was like, instead of donating your suitcases, your old ones to like Salvation Army, give them to the foster care homes because
yeah,
kids be bringing their stuff in bags. And I got hella luggage, so I was like, I'm gonna do that before the end of the year. But we do have a question from Heavily Sent on Instagram. She said,
Mhm.
"Do you need some type of certification to have an adult foster daycare."
Yes, you have to be licensed by the state. So in order to do that, I'm not for sure where she stays at, but she has to go, just look up licensed adult foster care homes. In order to be licensed, the state has to come in, they have to inspect your home, make sure you have everything in order. So that's the certification, is the license.
Okay. Let me
was there
see.
a particular agency you went through, Ebony, or it was multiple ones you had relationships with?
You just talking about to get my residence?
For your certification for the residents as well, because I just saying because I worked with Judson back then, and that's when I went to take the training classes to do my application, and they helped me with the application process and all of that.
You know what? I did everything myself because I worked at an adult foster care home for 12 years.
That's fine.
So,
I'm just asking.
so I knew what to do. And me and my husband, Ryan, worked at a group home as well. So
Okay,
we kind of already knew what to do. We just went through the state of Michigan, Michigan.gov licensing, and we did our paperwork, but we were already trained.
got
So
you.
I do have some resources. It's in my book though for training if they want to do adult foster to get some licensed adult foster care training. There is a lot of training that you can get, but for your specific license for Michigan, just go to Michigan.gov and you have to go through the apply. Of course, you have to get background checked. They also ask you if you have a couple of $1,000. They want to know if you got some money to sustain your business. They're a little nosy, but it's for I understand why, because if you have a resident leave or so, you have to still maintain the house. So
Correct.
if you're not leasing and you own your home, which is better, because to be honest with you, the house that we leased for our group home, we bought it about 3 times because the rent was 1,300,
Yeah.
and we were there for 9 years. So can you imagine? Yeah.
Now, when you say your business, do you have to start an actual business like a LLC or a DBA, or can you do it
Yes.
under your personal name?
I would definitely say do a LLC. I
Okay.
did it under it because the name of my home was Loving Care Licensed Adult Foster Care Home.
Okay.
So I didn't do it under my name. I definitely had a business name.
Okay.
Yeah. And another thing that you had asked about for us, I think you were saying something about agencies or something like that. So there are agencies that you can get residents from. But
Okay.
typically you have to pay those. It's a little backhand thing that you have to pay the agencies for your residents.
Yeah.
So typically they want half of your first and second month's rent. So if you getting 3,000, so you got to give them 1,500 the first 2 months. I that was the last resort for me. I didn't
Okay.
like to use agencies because what if they die or get sick or move in the third month and I've not gotten what I needed?
Yeah.
So I would use them only if I couldn't find another resident. So a lot of our clients was word of mouth. We had been doing it for so long. So different family and members and loved ones, they will say, "Oh, call Ebony and Ryan. They got a place," stuff like that. Because there are a lot of agencies like A Place for Mom, like they advertise. You will see a commercial on TV,
Yeah.
and they'll tell the families, "Oh, it's a free referral service. It's free to the families, but it's not free to us. We
Got
have to pay to
Yeah.
get those residents." So I try not to do that.
Now, did you have to provide transportation for the residents as well, or?
It really depends. So I had everything come to my house, the physical therapy. I had all of those come to the house. But like if they have to see specialists and stuff like that, I would take them. And typically that would be included in their rent.
Okay.
Can you hire like a transportation service to do it, or maybe even start your own, and that's like another stream of income? I would think maybe.
You could, but because they're not really going to the doctors a lot like that, you know what I'm saying? So for me, it was nothing to just run them to Southfield or something to get some blood work done, take 20 minutes, and
Right.
What about your the employees? Like, what type of qualifications do they need? And then, like, are you? Is there a certain number of employees you need based on how many occupants you have?
Yes, 2 employees per 6 residents.
Okay.
So, and then typically the training is just your basic direct care training, and that includes med certification that you get because your employees will have to know how to handle medications and typically in adult foster care homes and group homes, it's a lot of meds. It's
Okay.
a lot of meds. It's a lot of medication. You may have one that take 15 a day, so you want to make sure that there's no discrepancies or no issues with the medication.
Mm, that's good to know.
Mhm.
Oh, let me see. Somebody else had a question on YouTube. So somebody said, "Do you deal with drug dependent adults?" When I don't know if they mean drug like ooh we or prescribed. I don't know. They didn't say.
I can't stand you sometimes.
I'm
Like
being honest,
people in
I'm not sure which
recovery.
one.
I think they probably mean people in recovery, right? Like they've been through rehab.
If that's what they're talking about, I
I
typically
don't know.
wouldn't deal with those if they're drug dependent. I mean, when they all come to you, they own drugs, they taking a lot of medication. But far as like drug abuse and stuff like that, that will be another type of facility.
Okay, good to know. Like I wasn't sure. They didn't say all that. Oh, she said or he. I'm not sure. T Brown. They said prescribed.
Yeah, it's the same thing definitely about the medication. You have to keep it separate, but they all will be on medication. So I'm not clear on what the question was.
Oh, I guess they were saying they said prescribe, like if they prescribe, if somebody depending on some type of prescription, I guess is what they saying.
Hmm.
I
Oh
guess.
yeah, we would definitely provide that. And you have to keep the medications, as I said before, locked up, because if it's a lot of Norcos, it's a lot of pain meds, and you want to make sure that your staff is on the up and up too, because you're handling a lot.
You're right. They
Your
might be on
staff,
that ooey too.
yeah, your staff got to be right, because I mean, you having Vicodin. I mean, you gonna have a lot of medication.
You
So
got
in that case, do you drug test the staff?
You can. I didn't have to. My staff was kind of older, so I didn't really have an issue. And look,
Old people
but
get
but
now.
they
I was
yeah.
about
do,
to say,
they do. But
Cause
I
you
didn't.
said
I didn't. I didn't have to, because actually, as the owner, we would keep track of the narco. We would make sure we counting them, making sure everything is where they should be. Because honestly, you're not there 24 hours a day.
Right.
so
So,
what? Oh, go
go
ahead.
ahead, Rick. No, you
Uh,
go ahead.
what type of insurance do you need
I
to
was gonna
get?
ask the same thing.
Right.
Yeah,
It's not
because
like a liability.
T Long was like separate your personal from your business, so I immediately thought about liability. So like,
Oh
what
yeah.
type of insurances do you need?
Yeah, so there is a separate insurance that can cover your business. Sometimes it can be very hard, because it is an extreme liability. They could fall and break their leg. I mean, we've had all kind of stuff. Thankfully, nobody tried to sue us or anything, because it is a liability, especially if you're dealing with seniors. So you can definitely get a business insurance. I didn't bring it with me, but I have the paperwork to where if you want to cover your business, it is, you can get insurance for your business. That's for sure.
Oh,
But
would you put
definitely
that
keep it
information that
separate for
people?
sure.
I wonder what type of house insurance you would have too, because this would, since you're running a business out of it, it wouldn't be your regular coverage for slip and fall type of deal.
It might be like a commercial.
Gotcha.
They
Yeah,
probably would
you would
treat the
definitely
property
have
like
to.
commercial.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ebony, I'm gonna let you know, like, you're really renewing my faith in doing this again. My mother's retiring soon, and
There you
um,
go.
Really?
she's looking. We had talked about it, but every time I get in front of you, I remember, like, oh, I do have a resource that can help us do this, and
Oh yeah. Yeah. Yep. I
yeah,
got you. Just
because
let me
her
know.
biggest fear is, what am I gonna do besides help you with your stuff? What else am I gonna do? I'm like, here we
Oh,
go.
that would be good,
And then
especially if
we
she's
own a ranch
retiring.
home that's like right next door. So
Oh.
yeah, it's a 2-bedroom ranch. So it's like,
Oh yeah. She can get 4 good people in there paying some good
and
money.
we just opened up the yard, so the gate opens up into the next yard, so you can go right from her back door to that back door.
That's perfect. Because our first house was 3 houses down from ours. So we would
Okay.
literally walk right down the street.
But you don't let them know that, right? Because they don't even know they that close, right?
Yeah, you don't always got to tell them, but sometimes it's hard to keep it from them, because
Yeah.
they see you, like they on the porch, they see you coming over there.
What
Right.
type of what type do you have any like activities for the people, like as a group or something like that?
And that's another thing. I'm glad you brought that up. There are day programs which were really really good, and I said if I was to ever do it again, our residents was really spoiled. We gave them the option, if y'all want to get out and do. They was perfectly content watching Steve Harvey not doing nothing. But day programs are really really good, and that cuts down the cost of your staff. So we provided 24-hour care. So that's 24 hour staffing. But if you have a day program where they go from 8 in the morning till typically about 4 in the evening, that's like a shift
Yeah,
right
that
there.
is a shift.
You don't even
Wow.
have to worry about. Day programs are really, really good. I have some good resources on some good day programs, and you don't have to pay. The family doesn't have to pay. Insurance covers the day program. So some places you may have to bring a little lunch, or they'll provide the lunch. But day programs are ideal.
Okay.
Now I
I
wonder could you get some type of like grant assistance with that, with all this money, that Biden and them just gave out for senior stuff and stuff like that. Like if you license and you set up right, I would assume you could probably get that for like activities or have a health
Oh
day.
yeah, or they'll let you bring someone in to do activities. But
Yeah.
it's
Okay.
good to get them out the house. You can pay someone or get a grant and have someone come in to do arts and crafts. Like a couple of times, I would have a nail tech come in, do the ladies' nails, do different little things like that for them. So you can do it's a lot you can do.
You can
But
bring
they
me and
programs are good. Hmm?
you can pay me to come in. I'll have a Bid Whist tournament.
Oh yeah,
Hey,
look,
I'm
that's
there.
right up
Right.
their alley.
I'm
Right.
there.
I play checkers.
Yeah, we gonna keep them busy.
This
Yeah.
man, they gonna be in there cussing, have their little drink. They gonna have a good time.
Be happy. They'll be so happy.
Ryan, mama, Sharon gonna have to come.
All right, cook for 'em. Look,
Right.
while you playing, she would come and help us.
I know
Do
she
a
would.
couple of hours, come in and cook. Yes.
Her and my mom would have been right there talking cash junkies.
Hey, speaking about food, matter of fact, like I noticed some of them have like diet restrictions and everything.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
what would you say your average cost for groceries per month would run?
So at our max, like my license was for 6. So I would typically keep about 5. Rarely would we have 6 people. We would always be about 4 or 5. So typically about 300 a week. Because you got to remember you're doing 3 meals a day plus snacks, and they love snacks.
Right.
So we wanted to make sure we had goodies on deck.
Hey, did
So
you get buy them little butterscotch candies a lot?
they wanted Hershey's Kisses. We was cooking
Hey.
chocolate. I mean, yes. Oh, we had the candy dish was on deck for real.
Right.
What about them Lord them what's them shortbread cookies, them damn
Lorna
Lord
Doodles.
None
Oh,
of
yeah.
those old people cookies.
I
Yeah,
know
those
old
some
people
old
love
people
them.
cookies.
That's funny.
But yeah, so if you're gonna, you're about 300, give or take. Because sometimes they're eating a lot, sometimes not. But what I did not cover was if they needed like insure stuff like that. The families will be responsible for that.
Now,
You know?
did you have their bridge cards? If they
Yep.
had bridge cards, or
Mhm.
okay,
Yep, they would get it, and I would use that towards whatever.
okay.
Back up. So you get to keep their bridge card?
Uh-huh.
They ain't responsible for nothing. That's
Uh,
crazy.
Nope, I just tell them I'm getting ready to go to the store. What you want?
Okay, so all right, I'm playing devil's advocate. So what about that one old person that be like, you where I want this, that, and the other, where my mother effing card? Like, I wanted this, you didn't get that. There's always one.
So what I would do, because I've never had that issue, I would give the card
That's
to their
good.
loved one and tell them to buy their stuff
Okay.
and just bring it to me. You buy their food, bring it here. If you don't want me to handle it. But them families, I'm gonna tell you, them
Listen,
families
I'm thinking how
don't.
many Myers reward points I could rack up. Ooh, we could
Bruh,
be
you know how
living.
many Kroger fuel points I could get?
Yes. Them
That's
families
how I
don't
would run
want to
I
be
would run
bothered.
mine like that. All the reward points and coupons. Oh, they have so much stuff.
Yeah, then I would do all these Sam's Club, stuff like that. You like
Right, they want snacks. I'm going by that big old box of Lord Dooms and go.
Yeah, from Sam's
Everybody like
Club.
go and cheese.
yeah.
My residents can't eat no Aldi's because I don't step foot in Aldi's.
Bourgeois.
No, I've always had experiences in stores like that I can never come back from, like
Like the
Walmart.
Walmart we had in
You've been
Jersey.
traumatized.
Look, y'all, when we was in Atlantic City for that conference, we went to Walmart. Marcus already had an attitude. He's like, I don't like Walmart.
I
Hey,
I'm
I'm
on
with you.
Target. So we leaving out now. Matt, mind you, our stuff is in Walmart grocery bags. I guess it was their first day at the door. They like, we need to see your receipt. I was like, I guess my stuff is in these great value bags because I'm bored. And she like, well, I need to see your receipt. I'm like, once again. So I just kept
Now
walking.
it's been multiple people that's went through this door and they chose us,
The black people.
the black folks. That's what it was.
Right. And she
It
like, oh,
wasn't because y'all was black. It's because y'all was from Detroit.
Right.
And she didn't know where we was
I
from. We
don't
didn't have
know.
one thing on from Detroit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you had on some top tens. I know you did.
Right.
If you got on them Cartiers and them top tens, they was like, oh
I
yeah,
think
we
Casey
got
did have on his Cartiers that day.
Yeah, Casey
See?
had his woods on.
See?
Casey kept walking. He like, I ain't doing nothing. It's COVID, so he kept walking. And then I'm like, oh, so I'm getting mad. I'm like, so once again, my stuff just in these white bags with blue writing on it because I'm bored. So I kept walking. She like, go ahead, go ahead. I was like, I was going ahead, or this buggy was staying here. So Marcus, he like, no, you ain't talking to me.
That's funny.
No, because I thought so it's a little lady. I'm not gonna do any nationalities, but I'm saying she's a little lady, and she came up to me real softly, and she was like, "See your receipt," and I'm like, "Excuse me," I said, "I'm sorry, I don't have any change," and she's like, "No," she's like, "Can I see your receipt?" I'm like, "My what?" She's like, "Your receipt." I'm like, "For what?" Now, graduate, I have the basket, and I got like 6 bags in here and some water. Like you can clearly see, it's nothing in here that I stole, right?
They
So
don't care.
apparently, so I'm like, "What do you need my receipt for?" She's like, "To check the water in your basket." Now y'all know it's like 24 bottles of great value water. It's like $3.28. I was like, "No, ma'am." I was like, "Excuse me, have a good day." Like, "I need to see your receipt." I said, "If you don't back up away from me." Her boss came over, was like, "Let him go." Yes, let me go. Because I was one step away, leaving that basket there, going to customer service and returning all 6 items in this basket.
Wow. That's crazy.
You gonna pressure me over some $3.28, 24 bottles of great value water? You better move out my way.
But look, y'all, then I'm instigating. I'm like, y'all act like he got some boss water or something like that. This is great value water. Y'all act like he got some boss water or the one with the E. I was like, Aquafina, this is great value water.
Right.
He ain't got no vacuum, no mop. Like, no, I'm like, are y'all serious right now?
That's crazy.
We was so mad.
Flew thousands of miles to get harassed at Walmart.
Then we go outside.
Bobby World.
This dude changed to an alternator.
Oh, what?
He was saying there's an alternator in the parking lot. We like, see, I can't do it. This was in Atlanta City. I thought Atlanta City was like the East Coast version of Vegas, but it was not. So
Hey, I'm glad y'all telling these stories because my wife, she like Aldi and Walmart, and I like Myers and Kroger, and I
That's me.
refuse to go to Aldi.
I love Aldi.
I always have some type of experience there that I just don't. I'm Meyer, Kroger's, Target.
Yep.
I
I'm
love
really
Kroger
Trader
'cause
Joe's
I'm
and Whole Foods,
finding
but I'm not gonna show my colors right now.
But what got me that whole Walmart was I'm like, then we go outside, like he changed this alternator right here next to where we parked it. I'm like, it's time
And
to go.
before we went, I told him, I said, "I don't go to Walmart and I never have a good experience. They'll never have no lanes open. They'll never have nothing I need." And I'm just like, I was like, "Is there anywhere else we can go?" That was the only thing open there, what, like 10 o'clock at night or something.
But I don't know if that was worse when we went to Philly. Like this was 2 years ago. I had spoke at a conference. We go on Walmart. Why is all the Dove soap locked up?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
I'm like, y'all
Oh,
do this
They
Lord.
had all the Dove soap, the deodorant,
Yep, and
the
the Dove
laundry
body wash.
detergent, all that stuff locked and key.
That's
You had to
so
call somebody.
crazy.
They didn't even have the one like they have here where you got the little ding dong when you open it up and certain
Right.
area. This was
That
lock
mother
and
was
key.
locked and key
Lock and key.
behind
You had to call an
plexiglass.
associate.
Wow.
I was like,
That's
what?
so
I was like, y'all
crazy.
feeling Dove soap? What about all these other soaps? Why is Dove like? And it was the soap, the body wash. I'm like, who's still in the whole body wash bottle? That thing about this big.
You know, they probably people probably was boosting those and selling them baskets people be selling from their
Oh
house.
yeah.
I thought that was from
I got a
coupon.
basket full of laundry detergent and soap and all of that.
I thought that was coming from people couponing.
Yeah.
This part is, I think it's a little bit of both.
Oh God! All right, let's get back on track.
I
Cause that
know, sorry
Walmart
y'all.
for me, y'all.
I gotta travel with y'all just so I can film it. I ain't even gonna be in it. I'm just gonna film y'all.
Please do. We do need somebody to film it because they don't believe this stuff happens to us. Like,
Then we went back the next day. We walked in with an attitude like it better not be nothing today.
no, they went back the next day.
Yeah, Marcus, there you go.
That's funny.
Uh-uh.
I was very well content.
Somebody said I worked in the group home and dinner. I guess some of the residents had prescription med auctions or
Whoa.
or addictions. Oh, addictions. I'm like, whoa, auctions.
Oh, okay.
Somebody said, are you able to bill Medicaid for the chore worker check for each resident?
Oh, that's a good
So
question.
yeah, so actually, when you are a licensed adult foster care home, they only allow you to bill $200 a month. But if you are under a room and board, you can get more than that.
Mm.
Why I do not know, but you're only able to get $200 a month under a licensed home
Oh, they
from
said
the state.
Walmart don't treat folks right. Stay away. They said, Ebony, how long were you in business when you did the adult foster daycares?
11 years.
All right. Let's see. Is this question and answers? Yes. They was laughing at that. So somebody's about the prescription medicine. They said, can you do prescription marijuana?
No, I wouldn't. I didn't touch that. I mean, I wouldn't. I didn't.
Yeah, I think
I
that's
don't
a
know. I don't even think you could mix the two.
That makes
Yeah,
sense.
because even like on a in like a regular rental property, if it's like multiple families or residents there, you can't allow people to smoke it. They can eat it or whatever, but I wouldn't even touch that or combine the two.
yeah.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, that makes
Yeah.
sense.
Hey,
That
you know what though? That could be one of them day getaways she was talking about. Hey,
One
Right.
of them day programs.
hey, we going up here to the park. I'm gonna sit y'all down. I'll be back in 8 hours. Here's y'all bag.
They'll be happy.
Pretty
Floating
much.
along.
Get them all life alert in case something happens.
Right.
Yep. You give them some tops on one side, some Phillies on one side. Put it
Why
right
you
across the
playing? Them
picnic
seniors
table.
be the ones getting it in.
Right.
Them be the
I know.
ones.
Listen, I can't wait till I get to that age so I can earn the right to do that. I'm gonna be something
Do
else,
what you want to do.
right?
Yep.
Somebody said, are day programs totally different from adult daycares, or maybe they meant group homes?
Because the day program is a daycare. But a daycare is totally different than adult foster care. Daycare is just during the day.
Yeah, that's a different license too. I
Yep,
do
totally
remember seeing
different
that
license.
because that's like a
But daycares
facility.
are not bad to start as well
Mhm.
because it actually is easier because at 4 o'clock everybody go home. You don't have to worry about nobody staying there. So it's totally those are two totally different things.
My alarm. That was my alarm go. I forgot to turn
Uh-huh.
it off.
Oh.
I'm trying to see what other questions we
Can
got.
they hear me? They can hear me, can't they?
Yeah.
Or they
They
no?
should. I can hear you. I got y'all
Okay.
turned up.
Okay.
Oh, Giselle said that Atlanta City Walmart situation was crazy. I remember.
Oh, she was with y'all when y'all went back the second time,
Yeah,
right?
the next day she was like, "What's going on?" I'm like, "Just follow our lead, dog." That was funny. Trying to see if I got any more questions. This was pretty dope. Thanks for coming on, Ebony.
Yes, it is.
Oh, you are welcome.
Don't give them too much information because that is a consultation.
Yes, it
And you have an
is.
ebook too, right?
Yep.
Yep.
Or they can purchase the book.
Oh yeah, talk about your ebook, Ebony. I put the link in the description too, so people can go in there and purchase.
So the ebook, it actually has resources in there to kind of help you, like if you wanted to get your training. It's some resources for some agencies that I use to actually get residents, and it actually is just like a 5 point quick start to help you get started. So it's a lot of information in there. If you're really interested in getting started, it'll kind of help you point you in the right direction, tell you what type of house to get, the funding that you need. I talk a little bit about hospice in there as well. So I really encourage you, if you're really interested, it's a lot of resources that can help you in the book.
Now I wonder, doing this, do you get any type of like, or are there any certain tax breaks that you might get doing group homes and foster care? I wonder.
Well, if it was a 501c3, for nonprofit, I'm sure, but it's always for profit.
Facts. Always. I tell people that they be want to ask me all these questions on Instagram. Like, I'm sorry, this is a for-profit corporation,
That's that's
not
right.
non-profit.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, y'all got any questions? Marcus, Reg, I'm trying to see Instagram got any.
I think she covered most of my questions.
Yeah, housing, payments, lodging. Oh, you know what? And as far as the residents that you have that were dependent, or independent, like my thing was this: how do you control them in their urges as humans? Because I know they still get it. Like, did you ever have
So
any of that type of stuff
I
happen?
would never do in a in an independent living unisex housing.
Okay,
Okay.
Never that. But
Uh,
if but in the licensed adult foster care, I would do it was unisex. But even then, we had a man that was 97 years old. To the day he died, that's what his main goal in life was to get him a boo. I'm just
oh,
gonna
okay,
say that.
okay.
I
No,
mean,
it's not.
it's
Because I
never
mean,
ending. It's
them being adults, you
he
can't
was
really.
very sexual though. Like he's
Okay,
grabbing stuff. The
okay,
workers, oh, he off the
okay,
chain. You can't get close to him. Oh, I mean, he grabbing. Yes.
okay.
Yeah, somebody
So I
just
would
asked
never
that.
do, in a semi, independent because they still human. I mean, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Ain't nothing changed.
Okay. I just
Just
wanted
they
to know.
address.
I'll be like, I'm like, because I just thought about situations again. Like you said, they human. Like,
And late at night, you be like, "What you doing?" Nothing. I
none of
was
your
going to get
business.
some water. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, grown folks' business.
Yeah, somebody just asked it. They said, "How do you handle those sexually active or those refusing meds?"
Yeah. Well, when they refuse meds, I don't let them go too long because if it's something really really important and they refuse to do it, I'll just have them go to the hospital because you don't want them to stroke out or anything like that. Or if it's a psych med and they don't want it, then they get to flipping out. So
Okay.
if they constantly refuse it, you gotta go to the hospital, and usually that'll get them back on track.
Yeah, they don't want that. Somebody
Mm-mm.
said you have to have a heart and psychological endurance for the helpless. Facts.
Yes.
But
mhm.
having
That's for
a heart
sure.
might hurt you too because you got compassion,
I
and
mean,
then
you're gonna have a
now you
heart. If
stress
you don't have one,
Yeah.
you're definitely gonna create one for you.
Yeah,
too.
but then you have to be careful, like what Asia was saying, because they'll try to run over you too.
That's true.
Like things.
They'll try to run over you, be slick. If you too nice, the families will try to run over you, stuff like that.
Have you ever got into it with like their family? Like, hey, you tripping, you and your relative can go.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. They come in and try to control the house, opening up the refrigerator and going through the house. No, I can't do this up in your house. You ain't finna do it up in here.
Right,
But
because
they'll try to come in and take control.
Okay.
Like, mm-mm.
that's good because I about to be like, oh, how you gonna try to come up over here? And like you said, I can't come in your house and do that. Actually, why your relative ain't with you? Since you
Yeah,
so happy over here.
if you that concerned, take them home.
Yes,
Well,
yes.
that was just like with the kids in the foster care when the parents would come and visit. I mean, it's several parents that had to tell them, listen, unfortunately, this is not your home. This is my home, so I need you to remove your feet off my couch, off my table,
Oh,
remove your shoes at the door, all that stuff. Like, I mean, you weren't gonna be no
Yeah.
asshole about it because they're here to visit their kids, but
They'll
every
try to take over.
they
They
will
they
try to
will
take
try
over
to take over.
so
and
in
try to
that
leave
case,
with
do you gotta
food
have like
too.
security and stuff?
Yes, you got. I shut it down. Mm-mm. You ain't finna do that. Now they will try it. Excuse me. They wouldn't do it mostly when I'm there, but with the staff, they'll try to, be pushy with them and stuff like that.
Well, they knew not to try you, but they probably like, oh, let me try them because she ain't
Yeah.
never did.
And the staff be kind of scared a little bit, like that's their mama. I don't want to say no and stuff like that. But no. But yeah, if you allow them, they'll be pushy.
Sound like these clients we be dealing with. They mad at you because you offered them a low offer on the house. You didn't pay the water bill.
Right.
You didn't pay the taxes.
I just
Mhm.
had an agent that was in their feelings and they sent me a long book. And I was just like,
I'm not
okay.
reading this.
Man,
I was like, is it your house? Like,
Man.
I mean, this agent broke it down per square foot that was being charged, and I was just like, wow. But did they accept our counteroffer? That's all I want to know.
Right.
Somebody said they grew up next to an AFC home in Highland Park. They never understood how profitable it was until now. Yeah.
Mm.
Very profitable.
Oh, this is a good question. Does the vaccine mandate affect someone wanting to open a home?
Ooh, that is good.
So even though we just closed our home and I just focus on the consulting, they have the state have not removed me from the emails and all that stuff. I still get everything.
Mm-hmm.
So they're really, really pushing it. So it may be very difficult. It's up to you if you're the owner of what you decide to do. But they're really, really pushing for all the residents in the homes to be vaccinated. So it's really dependent on how you individually feel. I get all, I mean, when I tell you they're offering incentives, all type of stuff, and I get it. I said, dang, they forgot to take me off of the, even though we closed, I still get everything from the state like 3 times a week, different emails and stuff. So it would make a difference. So trying to open one now in this climate may be, may be a little, a little different.
Maybe they just keep you on there, which is good because then you still stay up to date, and then that help you like for whenever you want to open one back up or consulting or stuff.
Yeah, when I do my consulting, I give them all the heads up, all the information, different things that the state is requiring. I still get it.
Oh, that's good.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool. So like, what's the average like renovations that you got to do? Like, I don't have to go in there and probably do no 5-star rehab. I could probably just make it straight because do like they come and inspect it like how Section 8 inspect and stuff.
They do. They inspect. They looking at your furnace. That furnace got to be right. You have to have a inspection. They'll so when they come in, they're gonna come in and they checking everything. They opening up that refrigerator, making sure the temperature is correct. Looking at your pipes, they opening up cabinets. They really want to make sure that it's, basically up to par. So yeah, you have to kind of be on it, and you want it to look real nice too, because sometimes people are, just kind of just have it looking a little raggedy or whatever. But the better it looks, the more money you actually can get. Because if the families feel like, man, this house is really, really nice, and you say for whatever the issue is, I'm charging $3,500 a month, they got to feel like it's worth giving you that. You see what I'm saying? So, it don't necessarily have to be like the best, but it has to be really, really nice and clean and neat and yeah, because it's got to look like it's worth me giving you $3,500 to take care of my mom.
Because you ain't about to have her looking no project.
Right. Because some people will do that. They'll buy the cheap houses or go to land bank or whatever and get the houses are messed up and like, well, I want to turn this into a group home and it's literally like the only house on the block and stuff like that. And it's like people, it has the curb appeal, has to be, it got to look decent. It don't have to be A1, but you can't have it next to 2 blown up houses, because people pull up and they like, nah, I don't want my mom staying here. You know what I'm saying?
So when they do the inspection, do they give you a heads up or do it be?
They do. No. They'll give you time to get everything before you are issued your license. When they come in, do the inspection, tell you everything that needs to be done. And I have the checklist and everything. I kept all my paperwork, everything that they're looking for. So what they do is they'll come in, give you inspection, tell you what needs to be fixed. And they'll give you and they'll ask you, how long do you think it'll take to get a new furnace? Or how long do you think it'll take to get this? And they'll give you 2 months to do what you need to do, and then they'll come out and do a second inspection. If you fix everything that's on the list, then they'll issue you your license.
Do they charge you for the inspections? And if you fail, do they charge you for a reinspection?
Nope. It's $60 for your application, and that's it. Once you pay that, and that's it. You don't have to pay for them to come back out or anything. And then, of course, your renewal. Every 2 years, they have to re-come out and re-inspect. The only time the state really comes out and bother you is if someone files a complaint. Other than that, they only coming out to do the inspections. And when they do the inspections, they have to give you enough time. Like my license always expired, excuse me, in November. So in August, they will send me and say, well, your license will be coming up. It'll be, you have to renew your license, by November. So in August, they'll, just kind of give you heads up. So I'll make sure everything is done. So when they let me know in August, so when November comes, I'm straight.
So, because
Would
I was wondering, even like with Section 8, I know like if you fail, right, Marcus, I think you got to pay a reinspection fee. And then after you
No,
fail,
you don't have to pay a reinspection. You only get pretty much two try. Well, you get three tries, but if you fail on the third one, then the person's voucher is canceled.
Okay.
Or
Yeah,
so
yeah,
they
so,
typically, I've never had an issue past the one time. Like if they come in and this basement step is a little shaky or whatever, they'll, say you got to fix that. And then, you fix it and you good.
yeah. From my experience with the foster care with the children and the home inspection and stuff, it's not like section. It is like a Section 8 inspection, but you get many tries. And the thing about
It's
it is, they
lenient.
want
They're
you to get it
very lenient.
done so you can get licensed.
Because
So
they
this is not
want you to
a
take care of those kids. They
correct.
want
The
you to,
kids, the
so
children,
they're
yeah.
working with you.
Yeah, so this is
Mhm.
not a voucher program. So those are
Yeah.
two kind of separate things. But no, they give you enough time to get all that you need to get done in your
Mhm.
house. And it's not, most people think it got to be in pristine condition. It just has to be the same thing: safety, health, and you
Yes.
know, and
What you would
safe.
expect for your own house to be
Yeah.
nice,
Well, we can't say that.
clean. Well, yeah, because some
yeah,
people
not for
don't think
everybody.
And some folks you be like, you think this is
you.
safe? Oh yeah, that extension cord running through that water is okay. It's an
Yeah,
orange
you're
cord.
right.
Oh,
You're
okay.
right. That's true. You're right.
yeah, 'cause some of these houses I'd have been up in, especially like when I used to do like the Section 8 inspection and stuff, and I go, I'm like, y'all living here? This is trifling. And then I had to start charging clients more money. I'm like, she got roaches, so I got to go buy a suit. Like after that last house I did, and I seen the, I'm like, I didn't grow up like this. This is not my
Ugh.
life. I can't relate. So I'm not doing no more of these houses. No, I don't care how much
Yeah.
you pay me. No, ma'am.
Ebony, let me ask you this.
Hmm?
So when you leased your home, did you have to tell the landlord what you were using it for? Or did you
Yeah,
just
I
okay,
always suggest that you do. Some people may try not to, but this guy, he really took a shot, because
okay,
he really didn't want to do it. But one thing about it, he knew he was going to get his money every month.
okay.
So he was like, okay, I'm going to trust you that, it's not going to be any issues, And once I explained that what we were doing were seniors, he was really okay with that because he was more nervous thinking that it was, going to be, people getting out of prison or whatever. And
Yeah.
I said, no, these are all seniors. So he was really okay with that. Then he was okay with getting all that money like that
I'm
too.
quite sure he was.
But I'm
He was
saying, you probably be like, look, I could pay you this amount and pay
You
something
know,
up
he
front.
didn't want me to close. He did not want me to close. He was
Yeah,
like,
you
what
gotta
you
respect
need?
that.
he was doing the Scrooge McDuck every month.
He was. He was like, what you need? You need another house? He
Right.
was
You just
asking me.
said it.
But
Now, are
I
do you
just
do
was
Detroit?
tired. Hmm?
Do you do Detroit, or have you done Detroit, or do y'all just stay like in the
I
suburbs?
just straight stay Oakland County because you can kind of get a little bit more money in Oakland County.
Understood.
Honestly.
Have
You know
you
what? Let me
Huh?
ask. Oh, so go ahead,
oh,
Red.
I was gonna ask you. So you had a state inspection. Is there any cities that have additional requirements?
No, as long
Okay,
as you pass with the state, the cities are typically there. Okay.
okay.
But I
Yeah.
get what you're saying, Reg, though, because that was what I was thinking too. Like, would you have to register it as a rental property because you're renting space, and would you
Mm.
Right.
have to register it and do the city inspection, get a CFC? Like, would that be a part of the requirements too?
It for I know for Oakland County you didn't. You don't.
Okay.
As long as you're registered with the state, it's like it's totally separate. They don't bother you, honestly.
Oh,
Okay.
that's
Yeah,
sweet.
because I was wondering, like, let's say in Detroit, if I do get the CFC with the certificate of
Compliance.
compliance and the
Mhm.
certificate of occupancy, I wonder will the state accept that? without them even coming out. Because I mean, if
No.
I pulled all my permits,
This
and
the
stuff,
state gonna still have to come out
Yeah.
to license your home, because each individual home has to be licensed. So once you shut that house down, the license doesn't carry you. Like I heard Marcus say that you still got your license. If you're not in operation, your license, you don't have it anymore. It's specifically for that house because it has to be going by the rooms.
Yeah, we still
How
got
you
the
have
house.
yeah, oh yeah. Well, it has to be specifically for that house.
Yeah.
So if you move, you can't open up another home and say, "Well, I'm just going," unless you're doing it room and board. That new house has to be licensed as well.
yeah, because I think I'm gonna find me a nice ranch because I would do that. Cause like Auntie, like I know Auntie will love, cause Auntie love to cook, and then
And
I'm
she will cook.
yeah,
She
and
will
I
do.
pay
She
her,
will be so good.
yeah, and then
And
I'm gonna
girl,
pay
she
her
thinks
too.
she
She
the
gonna be like,
boss.
and she gonna
Yes.
get paid. She gonna be living the life. You hear me? She gonna be
Yeah.
burning twice a week.
Yeah.
What you gonna say,
Just
Red?
don't let her get around that old dude grabbing on everything.
No, Auntie will be shooting first. Auntie don't play. Oh yeah, Red, you ain't never met my Auntie. She a trip, man.
You said she a crip.
I said she an old crip. She tell us all the time. She's like, now y'all know if I'm on y'all porch, something happened, and I got put out my building. I'm like, yes, ma'am.
How hard was it to find like good employees that actually could qualify and that type of thing, and that really that was a good fit for your program?
So that's a good question because it could be difficult because I'll just be honest with you. I had one of my cousins because I need a job. You want to try to help people. She was meaner to my residents than the people that I didn't even know.
That's because y'all
And,
family.
and the staff and the residents told me we would ask for coffee and she'd tell us, "No, I ain't give you no coffee." I mean, just mean. I had to let her go. So when because you really just don't know how people are going to do. You
Right.
sit down and you interview them and you talk to them and of course they smile and they tap dance and they doing all this stuff, and then you don't know until they working. Like they would tell me, my residents will treat me like I'm their mama. Like, oh, they can wait till I come in to tell me what to happen. With the staff, I had my nephew. He would bring his kids. They'd be like, "We heard a baby crying all night." I was like, "What?"
Wow.
Yeah, so it could be difficult, if you got some good staff, but later we ended up having some staff that we had with us for years. So I like to do retirees, people that don't mind, cooking old school meals, greens, and chicken, and like beans.
Yeah.
Yes, all that good eating. It's better to me to have somebody that's more patient. Because you get young people in there and they're trying to rush them. Hurry up, take your shower, and stuff like that.
I can hear Auntie right now. I gotta get off this phone. I gotta finish these beans for these folks. I can hear her right now. Like,
Yes,
For
yes.
these folks.
yeah, Auntie will love this, man. Like, I'm
Yeah,
gonna talk to you about it. Do it though.
Yeah, but if you find you some good staff, you can find you some good staff, and it'll be okay. I gotta plug my charger up. I want my phone to go up.
What type of pay do you pay your staff? Like, based on how do you determine what's a good salary?
Well, you try to do a little bit more than minimum wage,
Okay.
But to be honest with you, direct care workers don't make a whole lot. Now, since COVID and stuff like that, people are willing to pay a little bit more, but
Right.
their direct care workers don't make a whole lot.
Are they W-2 or 299? And then do you gotta pay like insurance and stuff for them?
1099, everybody 1099.
All right.
Yeah.
No benefits. No
Well, since
benefits.
if they're 1099, they don't have a set schedule, right?
Well, I still did a set schedule, but you can work it the way you want to work it. But everybody was 1099.
Right.
So they pretty much so they're
Keep talking. I'm listening. I just got to get my charger. I don't want my computer to go dead, but I'm listening. Go ahead.
all
Okay.
right. So pretty much, I guess I was trying to figure out like what are they obligations throughout the day? Are they just kind of like handing out meds, cooking, and then watching Steve Harvey with them, or like what else is it for them to do?
I know he
So
said they got to do laundry, right? Like wash their
yeah,
clothes.
yeah. The staff has to do laundry.
Right.
Again, you doing 3 meals a day. The meals could be continental, like breakfast. I would do the weekends we would cook hot. You know, they would have eggs or grits or whatever. But a lot of times they would want cereal, oatmeal. You know, you making lunch, which would be like sandwiches, salad, fruit, and you know, they will prepare a nice dinner for them. So once they do the meals and everything. Hang on a second. Once they do the meals and everything, I'm still talking. Just hang on. But once they do the meals and everything, they do laundry, light housework.
Oh yeah, because they got to
And
keep the house clean too, right? Or do the people got to
yes,
keep their own room clean?
that house has to be spotless. I mean, you know, it has to be very clean because one thing about it too, and then like the families, they may pop up at any given time. So you want to make sure you got some staff that's not going to have your house messed up. The house can't be smelly. You know, we did diapers and everything. So we literally was taking out trash all day. You
Yeah.
know, we had our residents were really, really sick. So
So basically, it sounds like they kind of doing stuff that they would be doing at home anyway. Well,
yeah.
you hope they would be doing at home anyway.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. But you would what I would do is we had a list of chores for the day shift and night shift to do.
Okay.
And I let my residents sleep. I did because they're gonna do it anyway. I worked
Right.
midnights for 12 years at a group home. I slept every night. So you tell them not to sleep, they're gonna do it. So all I would tell my I would tell my staff is make sure that if they need something, you can hear them,
Right.
because
You
they're
ever
gonna do it.
Maybe
you
you
ever
could put
had any?
monitors in the room, like the baby
I
monitors.
did. I had
Yeah.
baby monitors. Yep. I use that. Yep.
You ever had an employee that was good with the residents and everything, but they couldn't cook worth nothing?
Sure did. Sure did.
Did the
but
residents did the residents complain? Because they like she can't
yeah,
cook.
but because she was such a good staff,
Right.
I didn't care. We'll make up the difference. I cook a big meal and give her and have her warm up the leftovers. She was such a good staff.
Okay.
So
I
like,
mean, she would
okay,
bring them goodies and treats. Such a good staff. So I overlooked that.
I know that's right.
Right.
So for holidays and stuff, do you do like a special, like
Yes,
with
every
flowers?
holiday we did a full course Thanksgiving meal because a lot of them didn't go home. So you gonna have some Thanksgiving. We gonna turkey dressing. You know, you gonna have everything that you would have if you was in your own house. Every holiday, birthdays was a big deal. We bought cakes for them, so they could celebrate their birthday. Because sometimes their families, they may come 2 days later, bring an old Thanksgiving plate for them and stuff like that. You'll be amazed. It's very bold.
That's crazy.
Yeah, you'll be shocked at some of the things that the children would do, but a lot of them didn't have. Some of them may have not had a good relationship with their parents.
Right. Somebody
You
said they
get,
in
you
Cali.
get a lot of that. You get a lot of that. They don't come see about them. They don't call them or nothing.
That's sad.
Man, you just blew my Christmas budget. Now I gotta go back shopping.
Yeah.
Somebody said I'm in Cali and I want to open a home. I'm not vaccinated. Oh, that was about earlier. So they want to know, why did you close your homes?
Because that wasn't my only business. So I have a salon and barbershop, which I am at right now. And to be honest with you, we retired. We did both of them for 11 years. And I wanted to move from, I'm still technically I still help people open up group homes, and just like what I'm doing, I talk to people and stuff like that. But it was just beginning to be a little bit too much. My husband actually was in a motorcycle accident and broke his ankle. It was me and him together doing it. And when he couldn't do it anymore, it was just hard. Trying to do it and juggle it, and then the residents were getting sick, and then COVID hit. It was just too much.
Yeah.
So I just decided to focus more on the consulting aspect of it. And I'm not saying I may go back to it later, but right now I'm okay. It was stressful.
What's your fee like if somebody, or maybe you don't have this service yet? So if somebody wanted to pay you to set up the whole thing for them and then just take over like a turnkey adult foster daycare, like I think you could make a killing doing that.
Yeah, that's something I have been thinking about. I haven't come up with a price yet, but I don't mind doing it because I could do it with my eyes closed. Just set it up, the whole thing for you. You fill in your application, you do this. I'll go to the house and show you. I have to do that to another young lady next week. She already owns a separate house. So I'm going to go up and show her how to set it up and stuff like that. So, I do that as well.
It's like a percentage of whatever, like, so if it's a 2-bedroom, they know it's gonna be 4 beds, and you know what that equal in money, you could charge maybe 10% of the annual, or just flat out be 10 grand. Because I think I would pay 10 grand for that. Like, you gonna set me up, all I gotta do is sign this, and I'm about to make all these hundreds of thousands. Like, yeah, I don't think that should be no less.
The young lady that she did $500,000 last year. I mean, just
you should get 10 grand.
Yeah, she killing them though.
You should get 10 grand. You should get 10 grand minimum.
Yeah.
And take credit cards.
So what she did was very smart. She just hired a live-in to stay in her. She has one licensed adult foster care home, and then she has all those room and boards. But she pays a live-in, and it was like the ideal thing to do. She pays a live-in $800 a month, once a month, and they got full reign of the house and the food. They just have to make sure they residents is taking in their meds and stuff and cook dinner.
Mm-hmm.
So she can be over like yeah, you don't have to pay that.
So in that case, maybe you could do a flat to where they live upstairs, and then they just got to come downstairs and take care.
Yeah, and if you want to do it that way, yes. But you couldn't. I would never have residents upstairs. I wouldn't.
Now I might do that.
But yeah,
and with the flat, pay 2 live-ins. One work 12 hours, the other one work 12 hours, and now you paying them 16.
You can do that too. You can do a live-in. That's for the semi-independent. You can still make good money, not as much as the adult foster care, but you don't have all that overhead either. Yeah. With the semi-independent, you don't have to have 24-hour staffing. They're pretty much doing their own thing. You just making sure they're taking their meds and that they're eating, because you are providing room and board. So typically with room and board, a lot of them are like SSI or a little bit of disability. So you're not getting as much money. On the low end.
I'm sorry. What's SSI for those that don't know?
Oh, there's just Social Security income. So that could be maybe about 800, 900. It varies per person. So you may get 900 for a semi-independent plus their bridge card, which is like $200 additional for food. So if you got 5 of those living in one house, that's still some good money.
Sure enough.
And then you don't have the overhead. You don't have all that, staff. Like my overhead was a beast. I mean, 24-hour staffing, you paying all this money in rent, so with the semi-independent, you don't come out as much money.
How do you get clients? Well, you can give them one answer because that's more of a consultation or ebook question.
Yeah, so you can get clients through agencies. One agency that you can use is A Place for Mom.
Okay. Would the staff have to change clients' diapers?
Yeah, they working. You working. That's part of the job.
That's in your
That's
job
only if
description.
you have the residents that have diapers. Because all of mine didn't wear diapers. Just some of them did. And then you can use a bedside commode for some whose legs may not be strong. So it just depends on your market. Now you can have maybe let's say room and board. Nobody wearing no diapers or nothing. Everybody walking and talking. They doing what they want to do. But when you're in adult foster care, you getting they're a little bit more sicker. They got a little bit more issue. But you getting more money for that.
All right. Somebody said, "What are the typical list of monthly?"
Wait, say it one more time.
What is the list of monthly
I'm
or
sorry.
what? Oh no, you straight. What are some monthly expenses?
It will be food, lights, gas, water, your staff. That's overhead. So when I say overhead, that's what I mean. That's expenses.
Do you have to provide cable or do they just get the little Roku?
I had cable. Fire residents. We had cable. It's up to you.
Do
You
they
don't
all
have to
have?
have cable.
Do you have just the one TV and they all got to watch the same thing?
So our residence was spoiled. We had a big TV in the living room. That's like community. Everybody can come and sit in there and watch. Typically, the staff would be up in there, but everybody had flat screens in their room.
Mm.
Oh,
I
Everybody.
would put them in there. I would just do that little TCL brand when they be 2 for 50.
Yeah,
I put
that's
them
what
in.
I had for the kids. They had their own
No
little,
Samsung, no
them
Sony,
little
no
32-inch TVs in there in the room.
Yeah,
I put them in there. That's cool.
yeah. They all had. Yep, they
Now
all
we
had
had cable too,
TVs.
Ebony. We had cable too.
Huh?
I said we
Yeah,
had
we had.
cable too.
What
Yeah.
about the little mini fridge? Do you put them in their rooms too, like the mini fridge and mini
No,
microwave?
I wouldn't do that. Because then you got to think about the electricity too. So we just had one refrigerator, and whatever they need, we went and got it from. We waited on them hand and foot.
Oh, y'all was dancing.
Yeah, they was spoiled. They really was.
Yeah, they ain't like when you closed up. Like we got to get up and get our own stuff.
Yeah.
Hold on. Let's see if I got any more questions.
did y'all have to go get the remote for them? You know how you.
Honey, I set that remote right on their bed. They can do that. Do that themselves.
Yeah.
Did you have to buy the big remotes with the big numbers on it?
I probably should have, but they knew how to work that.
But I wonder what I even do, Kay, because so with Xfinity, if you got Wi-Fi, they give you the little stream box for free now. So I would just get them.
Well, I would say with like the older, I guess for my
Older people,
they don't really do too well with all of that. They just know the program come on this channel and
they ours. All they wanted to do was watch Steve Harvey and Family Feud.
Columbo. Me TV with all the westerns and stuff come on there and merch.
Yeah.
I know because my auntie watched Columbo every night at 10. She like, my man on, I got to call you back. I'm like, yes,
That's funny.
So let me see what other questions we got. This is awesome. So how many residents did you have at once at your max?
Oh, my max was 6. So typically we would do 5, maybe 6, because 6 sometimes will be a lot. I'm gonna just be honest with you. If you taking care of 6 sick people, so we would typically do 5 would really be my max. I would do 4 or 5. 6, my license was for 6 though.
Okay. Did you ever work with guardians or probate attorneys?
I only had one person that had a guardian, just one.
Okay. So when you have a guardian, do you have to run everything past him or her first?
Yep. And the guardian is responsible for making the payment as well.
So here's another good question: if the guardian don't pay, you got to put them out, or how does that work? You got to take them to court.
Yeah, they have to. What I would do is, if so, for the sake of conversation, if there's ever an issue with my money, oh, you going to the hospital.
You hear how the gangster came out of her? You hear how the gangster came out? She's like, anything with my money, you going to the hospital.
You ain't got my money.
Yeah, yeah.
That's why they
And
didn't mess with Ebony. That's why they didn't mess with her. She said, my money,
then,
you going to the hospital.
so and typically, all you have to do, because the hospital has to clear it with you in order for them to come back.
Oh wow.
Yep. They'll say, well, they're being discharged. Do they have a place to stay?
What
But
you
to be honest with you, I never really had an issue with my money. Hello?
That's funny because,
Yeah.
like, if they ask you, like, so they about to be discharged, are they like, do you have to come? They are no
Nope.
longer residents. That is no longer my responsibility.
Yeah.
Yeah, no more beds left.
Sorry, we're full. We're closed.
Yep. That's just that right on down. But can y'all see me? My screen is dark.
No,
Yeah,
we
we
can
see
see
you.
you.
Yeah, we can see you.
Yeah,
Oh,
it
I
went
don't
black
see
when you
it.
started asking about your money.
Right?
It's like you ain't got
Well,
my money
I'll
like
just keep
that.
talking because I don't see nothing.
Yeah, we see you with no problem. Maybe see any more questions. This was
Oh,
awesome.
okay.
Man, I learned so much. I thought I knew a little something, but I didn't.
So you got educated today, Red.
Yep.
Yeah, this was dope. And I didn't even know y'all did this all these years. Cause
Mhm.
I took Mama to see Morris Day, and I seen Ryan and Sharon at the casino. We just was talking. He like, yeah, cause we got all these adult foster. I'm like, when was y'all gonna say something? I'm like, this big old, for y'all that don't know, Ebony and Ryan, they're my cousins. So like, I'm like, y'all could have been telling me this. I'm like, what? I told Mama. She was like, get out of here. They do what?
Mhm. We did it for 11 years. And it was, I mean, God blessed us. I'm not even going to take it for granted. He truly blessed us.
Uh-oh.
Phone cut out.
Oh, maybe her computer was dying or something.
Yeah, maybe the computer was dying. She probably thought she had it plugged in.
Uh-oh.
Gotta get a Mac.
Man, that was some good information.
Man, what? And she I put all her information in the description box. So how she started charging, me and her was just like, so I saw them at the casino, we was talking, and then I talked to my cousin later, and she was telling me how this one lady, like she would have people come to their house and she would explain to them about the foster daycare, and they would go
Yep.
and make several $100,000. It would only get her like a $25 gift card. So the cousin I am, I'm like, oh no,
Yeah.
cousin. That's your last time doing this. I'm like, you give me some information and I make $500,000 in a year and I'm able to quit my factory job. You should have gotten no less than 10 grand.
Yep.
Like just on some thank you. Cause if had not you gave me this information, and she laid it out. She was like, cuz we used to be in my den, I cook and doing a presentation.
Yeah. It's some people, like a lot of times, like I used to give away a whole lot of information to agents and them people I'm competing with. But then it's some stuff that I'm like, no, you got to pay me for this information because
Facts.
it's stuff. Some of it's life changing stuff, right? And you should be willing to pay for that, especially people that's gonna take the information and not do anything with it. Them the worst.
Facts. They should be 10 grand and not, cause I really want us to do like, and I can talk about this with y'all later, but I want to do like an actual mastermind somewhere, like on the beach preferred with a passport, and invite her to come, because I think people will pay for that. Like
We would pay for it.
you can do this nationwide, like all the information us three know, plus her, plus Emma, like we sell that out in a minute. It's because that's a niche, and like I've always heard about group home, but I never saw nobody black talking about it.
Right.
Like,
I've always
it's
had,
always been like a big hush hush, like a secret.
yeah. That's what I was just about to say. Like that was my thing. I've had clients that do it, and I try to ask, and it's like it was just like this big mafia type secret type deal. It's like, oh, or I had a lot of people that were very discouraged, and they were just like, you don't want to get into this business, and I'm like, why? And yeah,
Because I'm like, instead of me like so Big Red, whenever I do that, I'm gonna rent that to like the highest price I possibly can over there, which is $2,500 a month. But I'm definitely gonna look for me a ranch, probably in Oak Park, because that mother full of ranches. And
Yeah.
I do this all day, and I get her 10 grand, and that's my cousin. Like, cause what I'm gonna make, like, that's way easier than having regular dang on tenants. Cause if that same house only gonna rent 1,500, but I could put 6 beds in there and get 2 grand per bed, bruh. That's what
Right.
12 grand a month.
Yep. And you ain't got to worry about nobody tearing your house up like an Airbnb.
Yeah.
Facts. And
Yep.
I'm like, I wouldn't mind, or either a flat like that flat I got on Parker. I could do that downstairs and had a
Mhm.
live in, live upstairs.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like I just got so many, ideas. Like, cause this was
Hey,
dope.
hey, you said something though. You was like you would give her 10 grand, even though that's your cousin. So you ain't looking for a hookup or nothing. I like that type of talk.
Oh no, like I don't mind paying people. Like
They
even if she
full
be
price.
like, no, give me 5, I'm gonna be like, nah. If she say different, but I doubt she would. But even if she did say different, I would still give it to her because what she know that 10 grand is, for one, it's a tax deductible write-off because I'm paying the company a
Yep.
consultation fee. But two, you're gonna speed up whatever curve I was gonna have because you've been doing this 10 plus years,
Yep.
and then you my family. So why wouldn't I give you the 10,000?
And you really gonna save money on the process of trying to start it yourself and all the bumps you're gonna run into trying to
Exactly.
figure it out.
That's a
Yep.
fact. Her information, her IG is Ebony. Hold on, let me look it up. It's Ebony Struthers and Associate number 1, and her website is ebonystrother.com. For those watching on YouTube, all of this is in the description, and even y'all on Instagram, y'all can leave one app and go to the other app. It won't kill you. Somebody asked, "What is my take on Clubhouse?" I ain't been on there in months. To me, I didn't really like Clubhouse when it first came out. It was cool, and after that, it was really cap house. Everybody was on their line, so I was straight.
Yeah.
Um, as far as Patreon, I haven't been on there, but I'm thinking about going on there or either
What's that?
OnlyFans. Patreon is
No,
You don't know
I'm
what
kind of grandpa
Patreon
over
is?
here. I don't got nothing but Facebook and Instagram.
Oh
so
god.
I had a
Patreon is
Twitter account years ago. I never reactivated it.
so Patreon is a site where people pay to be a part of your information, and they find out like
I
they pay
thought
like
that
a
was
monthly fee.
YouTube.
No,
No,
YouTube.
Patreon is different.
Yeah, let me Google it for the
You
proper
and
term.
Patreon give you it's not as restrictive neither.
Yeah, kind of like the business version of OnlyFans. But I even thought about doing that, or I might do an OnlyFans for business because Instagram been banning me since July. Like people can't tag me and stuff. Like they can't even search for me. If you search for me, you got to type in my entire IG name. Like my views, like that video I post every Wednesday, that must get like 50 views, and that video will usually get 3 to 6,000 views. So like
On
they
the
been
hump day views,
yeah.
yeah.
Like, that's on Lady Contractor page on the personal page, but this the construction page, that one is straight. But on the person, I'm like my 600-pound life. That's why I don't be going live no more because they shadow banning me. So I'm like, I
You
just go
should
only.
definitely you should definitely do that. That should be like a whole little show. You should do that on Patreon.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna do it on there, either OnlyFans.
Yeah.
Like I set me up for OnlyFans. Ain't gonna be none of that other only. This gonna be comical education on my page.
Your reviews of that show be hilarious. Me and my wife be watching that.
Appreciate it. Hold on, what else somebody said? I'm trying to see if we got any last minute questions. We got 15 minutes. Thank you for sharing this information. I managed a residence for the special needs population for years, but never thought about owning one.
Okay.
Oh, if you work there, you the plug. You can
Alright.
start your own consultation company because if you work there, you definitely know. Cause that's how my cousin started. She worked there one.
Yep, and it's a way so you can have like if you got a family member that got like special needs, because a couple of the kids that was in my daughter's school, they the parents have a trust, so we got a special needs trust, but you buy the property in the name of the trust, and then so that's really like that would be the kid's house or whoever the family member is house, but you would hire somebody to work there, like staff or whatever, but you would have other residents there as well. So that cover all the overhead. So you're getting the same service you would normally hire for that person, but you're also making a profit on the property itself. and the business part of it.
Oh yeah, that's what's up.
So
Somebody,
like you're a resident, your family member would be a resident there, but it's also like their house, if that makes sense.
yeah, I got you. Welcome back, Ebony.
Sorry about that, y'all. Excuse me, my computer froze. I had to get back on my phone. I don't know what's going on with that computer.
Yeah, we thought it just died on you or something.
Yeah, I don't know.
What they say?
Wasn't any more questions?
No, just comments. People thanking us. One person said that they actually manage a residence for special needs and they never thought about owning one. So I was like, yeah, you the inside plug.
Yeah.
And then we were talking about possibly doing an event next year on the beach somewhere that requires a passport. And then we all go and like, teach this because this is dope. I mean, like for real. And then whenever I get mine, I'm just gonna pay you them 10 stacks to speed me up.
Absolutely.
All
Like I
right.
told you, Ebony, I have been thinking about it, but hearing you and talk about it again really inspired. And again, I was just texting my mom like we got to go back to doing the adult foster care because we got a lot of space, and that would be the best use of the
For the
space.
space. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
I
she
wonder could you
technically
get
kind of does it
graduated?
now. She has a boarder who was her friend. He had a stroke, and he stays with her and pays her rent every month. He's independent. I mean,
Wow.
but she still do the same thing. She take him to the store. Uh, they go shopping and bedspreads and comforters and stuff. I ordered him one too. Like, okay, great.
So is she like considered his caregiver?
No, she's not his caregiver. His family is his caregiver, but they, whatever it is that she needs, they provide it. So, pretty much it's independent living, a small stipend every month. He got a room, a TV, they got cable,
Oh,
and it's
that's
kind of like this.
good.
Yeah, like it's just nothing going through the state. Because he's able to handle his own affairs. So
Okay.
she wash
Yeah,
clothes, all that.
Yeah, that's dope. When they get her something to do, keep her busy.
Yeah, so that's what I was saying. If she was to do one more person, because it's another room downstairs across from his, that would be good. Now she only did it because she knows him and knows the family. Versus the second
Wow.
person would probably be more, would be a stranger. So that's what I was saying. We'd probably do something maybe do a agency or get with you and pay your fee and figure out how to, match the two together. Because I think it's also like building a community. You can't have, I ain't gonna say you can't, but it'd be kind of different to have a dependent person and independent person, especially depending on the dependent person's abilities. So just like anything, you gotta figure it out.
Yeah,
And
like
build a
this is
community.
dope. So we got to figure out when and where and get the promoting because I'm down. As long as it involves a passport, we can go back to Cabo. I don't care. Y'all got passports? What happened to Ebony? She gone again?
Yeah.
We gotta get my cousin together. Oh, somebody, what they say, Miss Wilson? I appreciate the info and times you guys have taken to educate us. I'll definitely buy Ebony's ebook. Thank you. You can
Yes, it's
support
worth it too. It's
yeah.
definitely worth it.
I think it's like $49.99. You can support the show by buying her ebook or sending a donation. Welcome back, Ebony.
I don't know what's going on.
Well, somebody was saying thank you and that they appreciate the information that they're going to purchase your ebook.
Oh, great. Thank you.
So where can people contact you at? Instagram, website, email.
Yep.
You can give out your number.
ebonystrother.com. You can go on my website, ebonystrother.com. That's EBONYSTROTHER.com. It's just my name, ebonystrother.com.
All right, I'll put it in the thing. And all your contact information is there, phone, email, Instagram, all that good stuff.
Yep, everything's on the site.
Well, we got 10 minutes left. We all want to end early, but to y'all got any closing statements, arguments, comments?
If you are a landlord in the city of Detroit, it is now required that you have a certificate of occupancy, rental registration. It is no longer identified by specific zip codes. Everyone has to have them. So that's what's been keeping me busy for the last I'm gonna say 45 to 60 days, because it seemed like it's been longer, but we have definitely been working with people to get these certificate of occupancies. I'm sorry, get these certificate of compliances, get these properties registered, get these lead inspections completed, as well as getting a lead abatement done. So if any of my clients are watching this, I apologize. Yes, my phone has been unavailable. I have been unavailable. I have been
Thank
trying
you.
my
Cause they
best.
been calling me. Hey, you talk to Marcus? I like, I ain't seen him. I'm up here lying.
Listen, no, I mean you have it because I
Well, I
think they
really
feel like
haven't, but
you get the voicemail too, depending upon what goes on in the day. But
I call him. I'm like, did I just get
yeah, we have been working ourselves silly trying to make sure that all of them pass, using our checklist to make sure that everyone is successful. I know not all owners or want to do it or will do it, so we have also instituted a program of putting them up for sale if they want to get rid of them. But
something?
that's just to know anybody looking to invest in the city of Detroit or just anywhere, but specifically the city of Detroit, it is required. Always has been required, but they are definitely enforcing it. So let's just keep that in mind. That's my announcement.
I will say that I'm actually for it because it's gonna get rid of a lot of these dang on slumlords. So I'm for
Mm-hmm.
it, and then it's gonna make them hire the proper contractor to do the job right the first dang on time. So I'm for it. I do think me personally, instead of getting properties with tenants, I think I might go this route better because one is more money and less headache. That's like big. So for all you people on here who want to invest in Detroit, this is the way to do it. Or Metro Detroit, which is Oakland, Wayne, and Macomb County, and this is a very good way to get started. And it's like you ain't really got to worry about too much.
Yeah, or landlords who purchase properties and don't know what to do with them. So,
Hmm.
or I don't say landlords, but owners who purchase properties and don't know what to do with them. Take a chance on someone who's starting a group home.
Yeah.
Ebony's landlord did, and he was rich for 9 years.
Yes.
Right? He cried. He cried when she got out of there. He like, are
I would
you?
have cried too. I would have begged and pleaded.
Yeah.
Or you can, if you own the property and you know somebody trying to start a group home, you might want to partner with them.
Thank you, Red. That's
That's
good. You're
very
right.
good.
Yeah.
That's a good one. Can you do apartment buildings?
They can be semi-independent. Cause I know someone right now. She has an apartment, and it's three ladies living in there. And it's semi-independent.
Mm, that works too.
Yeah.
That definitely works. Oh, I just saw your text because said you trying to get back in.
Yeah.
My only thing is that if you are getting into this business too, again, I just like to reiterate that have a lot of compassion for the people. The money is good, but just put the people first.
Yes.
Right.
Absolutely. I agree 100%. You have to have a heart for people and to want to help people. And then if you do right, the money will come.
Yep.
That's a fact. So for y'all that just tuning in, her website is ebonystrother.com. All her contact information is in the comments on YouTube. So it's okay to leave Instagram and go to YouTube and find it. Because people just act like they can't do more than one thing at once sometimes.
Hey, I'm
Hmm.
one of them people.
Okay, I'm talking to you, Marcus, and people like you. Well, for those in Detroit, if you guys not have anything to do next Friday, this is a church announcement. It's not our event, but we are sponsors for Tucks and Chucks. So, Opulent Realty Team, District Construction Services, and Detroit Title and Escrow are some sponsors for Tucks and Chucks. So, what Tucks and Chucks is a charitable event in the city. It's pretty big. You dress up in your your finest linen, and your dopest Chuck Taylors. You ain't got to put no heels on, ladies. Like, this is my type of event. So it's next Friday. I think early bird special tickets was 95. I have no idea if they're doing pay at the door, but we did the sponsor thing for the included tickets. So y'all should definitely check that out if you're gonna be in Detroit for Black Friday. So I'm excited. That's kind of dope. Y'all got any last minute things? If not, we can roll on out.
All right. Thank you guys. I really enjoyed it.
All right.
Thank you so much,
Thank you, Ebony,
Ebony.
so much for the information.
You're
It's very
welcome.
informative.
Thank you. Thank you, cuz.
You're welcome.
Appreciate y'all. Thank you, Reg and Marcus. Emma, sorry you couldn't be with us because you don't feel good. Hope you feel better. And I think that's it. And thank y'all for tuning in. Thank everybody who purchased badges on Instagram and those who sent the Cash App donation. The good Lord is going to bless you if nobody told you today. So, all right, y'all, that's it. We about to end this broadcast. Have a good weekend and happy Turkey Day.
Happy
All
Turkey
right.
Day.
All right. See you guys later. Bye bye.
All right, bye, y'all. All right, to the Instagrammers. I think I'm still live. Peace out, YouTube. In broadcast.